Hey guys, it's Comic Uno, and today's topic video is on comic book deaths. Now, the reason I'm talking about comic book deaths is because this week Ultimate Spider-Man issue 160 came out, and that was the death of Spider-Man, and that was the end of the big story arc, and Spider-Man died. Now, I want to talk about how comic books sometimes fake us with deaths, I would say, because with their deaths, it doesn't have that much of an impact because they always bring them back. I mean, I understand you have to bring them back because, like, you can't lose a character like Spider-Man. If you kill Spider-Man off in the regular universe, that's never going to fly. But, I mean, I feel like we don't feel sad when a character dies, like when a comic book character dies, because we know they're going to come back one day. I feel like with some characters, you're probably killing them off because you need some money from the publisher, or you're probably killing them off because they have no more story opportunities until maybe later in the future. So, I think maybe if you're going to kill people off, maybe keep them killed. Because I feel like, alright, that character did such great thing, and, their death was such an impact. But when they come back, who cares, It's not sad anymore because all the characters always come back. With the Ultimate Universe, I feel like, alright, that death is final because it's a different universe. It's not the regular universe, and I feel sad when that character dies because we're not gonna see them again. In that universe, we're never gonna see them, and I felt sad when when Spider-Man died in the Ultimate Universe this week. I felt sad because I knew I was never gonna see. I don't know if I'm ever gonna see him again, but it's more of a possibility that I'm not because it's just I feel like. With Vampire Diaries, I'm going to give you an example. Kevin Williamson, who writes the Vampire Diaries, says that someone asks, "Oh, you can bring this person back or whatever." He said, and I think this is brilliant. I think this is just right on the dot. He said that to bring a character back, it's not as impactful, and it's not worth it. I mean, when a character dies, you're like, alright, now you're dead, story over, and you actually feel sorry for that character. You feel fulfilled with that character, I would say. Like, when a character dies, you kind of feel more bad for them, like, you're like, even if you hated the character, you say, oh, he died, oh, you just feel sad for him, and you feel, alright, let's look at that character, yeah, he did do good stuff. Me, I don't hate him as much. But then when he come back, it's like, it wasn't worth it. Wasn't impactful, and you don't really care. So to get an impactful death, I feel like we need to make them stay dead, or at least for 10 years. 5 years or something. Don't bring them back in the next year. It's like, oh, Spider-Man's back, Captain America's back. All these characters are back. Make it stay for a while. I remember Supergirl died. Gave 12 years or somewhat for her to come back, and that was perfect. We haven't had Supergirl in a while, and now stories opportunities are again for her, and until she dies again. But story opportunities for her again. And you know what? It was an impactful death. You're like, oh, I haven't seen Supergirl in a while. Oh yeah, she died, but it was a good death because we haven't seen her. So I feel like in comic books, they should stay dead, or at least for a longer period of time. I know in comic books, you need to have, like, a lot of your main characters are, like Spider-Man, if he dies, people are gonna go Ryan, we don't see him for years. But then, plan it out better, I guess, I don't know. Maybe, instead of making him die fully, you say, I'm done. And then, a year later, make him come back. Maybe you could do one of those trick deaths. Say, oh, I almost died, but I didn't die. Like, I'm gonna bring Vampire Diaries back in here. When Damon I know I'm bringing a lot of Vampire Diaries. I'm sorry, guys, but if you don't know Vampire Diaries, I'm sorry, I'm bringing so much up. But when Damon, the main character, he got bit by a werewolf, and that means that he was dying. But they got this antidote right in time. Drink it, I'm not dead anymore, don't worry. You could do that. That's better than just having these trick deaths for a year and you don't even feel upset. I want to feel upset for a character's death in a comic book. So that's my topic for video about. Do you feel that deaths in comic books are just insignificant? You really don't care about them. You just feel like they're doing it to sell comic books, or do you think maybe they should bring it back a couple of years later, maybe 5 years at least, to bring back a character that way? Wow, that was an impactful death. But now I'm glad they returned. But it's been a couple of years now, you know. So, do you think that's a better idea? What do you think about comic book deaths, and how do you think they should rearrange it? Alright, this was Comic Duo. Comic Uno. I hope you enjoyed.